I have some breaking news for everybody. And by breaking news, I mean like 12 hours late. And I'm totally not rushing out this video so I can be on top of this trend. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. What are you talking about? Well, in today's news, we have a pretty big announcement from Zillow. Zillow has decided to pause home buying as tech-powered flipping hits a snag. And of course, we got everybody chiming in. Wall Street Journal saying Zillow's getting outplayed in its own game. Marketplace saying why Zillow's hit pause. And of course, just yesterday, Zillow realtors accused of running a cartel of anti-competitive behavior. So what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Well, to get into the logistics, let's just kind of get an idea of what they're telling the general public here. According to Jeremy Waxman, that's Whackman, they're saying we're operating within a labor supply constrained economy inside a competitive real estate market, especially in the construction and renovation closing spaces. We have not been exempt from these market and capacity issues, and we now have an operational backlog for renovations and closings. Zillow said it will continue to market and sell homes during the break for new acquisitions, and it will close deals on houses that are under contract. So essentially, pausing new contracts will enable us to focus on sellers already under contract. Looks like they're going to be out for at least the next or the remainder of the year. And for the meantime, it's going to go back to its roots and essentially refer any future sellers to real estate agents. For those that don't know, Zillow made their bones by essentially selling leads to real estate agents, providing a very easy to use platform for you to look for houses, request estimates or evaluations of your home, getting your information, and then selling that to active real estate agents who are willing to pay a pretty penny. They used to pay a flat fee per month to get a certain amount of what they call leads. Now they essentially take a big giant percentage of the cut. They work with a few big teams here in the Valley, and I think they take like 30 to 35% out of each check for everyone they refer. My thoughts is down the road, they might even increase that to even 40 or 50. And here's the thing. They had a pretty solid business plan, produce the leads so that way realtors can close them and they don't have to do anything. They don't have to take any liability. They just essentially get the check for 30 to 35%. But they decided to overstep into the iBuying space. So there's two reasons why this would be happening. This is based off purely my intuition and just kind of my gut feeling, okay? This is no data. This isn't like I have inside information or anything. I'm already seeing on YouTube, I did some research and I looked up already. Real estate YouTube is just some amazing, pure 100% content. It's like, you want some premium stuff, just go on YouTube Realtor. Sorry, I don't mean to trash my brothers and sisters doing real estate YouTube, but a lot of them are already saying that this is going to cause the market crash, and this is one of the first signs. And we can justify something, okay? One of the reasons why this might be happening is Zillow might be seeing something we're not. Let's face it, Zillow probably has a team of analysts who's deep into the housing market data and numbers, and are probably trying to predict something, right? Because or else they couldn't be buying hundreds of houses just blindly off of blind hope, right? So there has to be some folk or some team in their department or in their company who's looking into the data. This might be an indication that for some reason Zillow thinks this is the top. By them pulling out just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in, right? If you know where that's from, let me put a comment below. I love you if you do. There could be either way to say, we see what's coming, and we're moving out of the way. We're not going to get caught in the crossfire. We out. And if you believe this is the case, I understand why, right? There's we're seeking some kind of hope, and this tends to think, well, this is very strange for such a big company that borrowed that much money to not want to back out. Okay, here's what I think is happening here. Okay, I think that TikTok video that was posted just completely put them in panic, and now they're trying to just back out. No, I'm just kidding. They bit off more than they can chew. They decided to step in and throw their hat in the ring with all these purchases happening, right? They wanted to step in with Open Door, OfferPad, all these cash buyers. They decided to say, you know what? We want to go for the bigger percentages. Let's create our own brokerages so we can have our own agents. Let's create our own lending company so we can have our own loans, right? Let's go buy our own houses so we can control every piece of the pie, right? They just completely overextended themselves, and they relied on AI, and they relied on their technology to lead them forward. We've been seeing this already for the past 6 months. I've been telling you guys now for a few months already that there has been price reductions for these houses. Now, a lot of you guys are interpreting as these price reductions as meaning there's a market adjustment happening. No, in reality is they have been very lucky since 2020. they would buy a house and price it 30, 40 grand more. And because the market was increasing at such a rapid rate, or we have this huge influx of new people moving into the States, or like your state, I'm talking just general states, I'm talking about just United States, they would be able to sell them. And even though that's the case, they wouldn't be very profitable, sure, but they were banking on this idea that, I don't remember where I saw, but I think they said they're essentially they were doing it to basically the profits they were making off the fees, not necessarily the sale of the homes. But let's face it, that was their play to try to get a big chunk of the equity growing up, right? This trend continued until this year when, well, I don't know what month it was, but one of those months they bought the houses, they priced them 30, 40K, and they're like, hey, how come no one's buying these houses? What's going on? They were forced to reduce their prices to even get rid of it. And in some situations, well, I bet I can find one just like off the cuff here. Look at this house I found in Gilbert. Okay, if you look at the price tax history on them, it says here that they bought it for $535,000. Try to sell it for $550,000, right? Trying to push $15K and that profit. Because remember, just because they bought it for $535,000 doesn't mean that's actually what they paid. There's fees on involved in there and all kinds of stuff, right? So. And now they're trying to sell it for $520,000. They're losing money on the deal. Or if anything, this is maybe an actual true number that they bought the house for. This is your perfect example of, when you go to the buffet, you're just like, man, I'm really hungry. I'm going to really stack all this food. And you finish your first plate, you go through your second plate, and you're like, I'm going to go get a third plate. By the time you sit down, you're just like, oh boy. And now, like an idiot, you have to finish your third plate because you remember your parents telling you as a kid that throwing your food away is bad and you cannot be bad, so you're forcing the third plate. That's what Zillow's doing right now. They're forcing the third plate. They have an abundance of houses they can't sell. They have a bunch of people still trying to sell their house to them. And quite frankly, they are in a bad spot. If they continue to do this, they're going to be losing a massive amount of money. I don't blame them for doing this. This is definitely, I think personally, a business decision for them. I don't think it's indication of what's to come. I don't even think it's an indication of terrible things happening. It simply is Zillow overextended themselves. And if they had just stayed to what they're good at, which is providing clients to realtors that pay them for the connection, then they probably would have been fine. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach when you're really hungry, right? So why am I using food analogies in today's episode? It's because I'm hungry. Just like anything in real estate, sometimes it's not necessarily the action that causes changes. It's people's reaction to the action. In real estate, an action happens, and the reaction of that action causes even bigger action. People are going to see this. They're going to start thinking, holy crap, this is a sign that things are going to, this is a sign of what's coming, right? We're going to stop buying, or simply we're going to hold off on anything. Maybe this will dissuade some buyers from wanting to move forward. First of all, let me know in the comments what you're going to do in reaction to this, because I am curious. And maybe they're going to say, hey, we're going to wait. We're not going to do anything now. We feel like Zillow's doing this because of X reason, whether you think it's the top or whatever bigger sign that you might think is happening. So now we have less buyers because of that. And the inventory is increasing. It has been increasing now for the last month or so. So like here in Phoenix, we're at 7,700 listings. It's Monday. We're almost at a month's worth of inventory. If I look at the closed the last 30 days. I'm like going through puberty again. Last 30 days. 8,665 actually. Yeah, we're really close to that month's worth of inventory. Oh, I put 31 and it went to 92, so we'll do 31. So we're really close to that month's worth of inventory. So with inventory going up and buyers getting spooked by the news, we might start seeing that shift that we've all been waiting for. Market crash. When, Javi, market crash tomorrow? No, I'm not saying market crash. Any kind of pendulum swing, moving buyers away from the market when there's more inventory coming in, might cost some normality, if that's a word, for those who are looking to buy a home. This means you might not have to offer $40,000 above list price. Maybe you won't have to waive your contingency or notice. I'm already getting people on my Twitch stream and my YouTube stream stopping by and telling me, hey, we got an FHA offer accepted. Now, they're not in major cities, but we're starting to get to that normal. Now, the thing is, we were such an extreme seller's market that a big pendulum swing, whatever direction towards a buyer's side, it's just going to make things go back to normal. For it to be an absolute crash, sorry for the bump, has to be pretty massive changes. So first of all, if you're looking to buy right now, you're doing it because you're prepared, you've been preparing, and you have the immediate need. You're not doing it because I want to make $1 billion. I want to be the next Zillow. No, okay? You're buying because you're buying. You have your family's goals in mind. You do your thing, keep moving forward. For those that were waiting already, or they're going to decide to wait, I think this is perfect timing. It's the end of the year. Normally, real estate slows down at the end of the year, so this should help that slow down. Call a few houses in December and January. Just see if houses are selling a lot faster. If by January and February, we're back to over a month's worth of inventory, this news would be the factor that made things back to a little bit to normal. Our price is going to drop. That's a stretch. I mean, what I'm saying is a stretch. This is pure speculation. I hope you guys don't take this to heart. I mean, come on, look at my shirt. It looks like I'm naked, for Pete's sake. Who wears a skin tone shirt nowadays? This might be the good news that we've been wanting. Not the actual action. The action that happens with the reaction of the action. That's my thoughts. I would love to hear what you guys think. Am I full of crap? Am I full of pap? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time. Have a good day.